Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Here we talk all things fitness and strength for women over 50. And so today we're going to talk about getting stronger. As we begin the new year, and even if you are just beginning your strength training journey at any time of the year, one of the things you'll want to do is to get stronger over time. In order to get stronger over time, you'll have to challenge yourself by lifting heavier as you progress. Now, I know the sound of lifting heavier might be a bit intimidating, but I've done a couple of videos actually about lifting heavy. One is all about using dumbbells, and another one talks about how heavy is enough. But I thought in this video, I would actually illustrate how you can determine how heavy is enough for you. One of the things I always share with my clients is you really need to challenge yourself. And that challenge is going to be different for one client than it is for another client. That challenge is going to be different as you compare my strength training to your strength training. And so lifting heavy is really unique and individual. So as you think about lifting heavier, I want you to consider some factors that are really important along your strength training journey. First, you want to consider your experience. How experienced are you with using dumbbells or kettlebells or machines? The second thing you want to consider is your current strength. Your current strength will determine how heavy you lift or how much weight you put on the machines when you're exercising. And then the third thing I want you to consider is any contraindications or any special factors about your physical health and your physical well-being that you want to consider. These might be things like arthritis, or it may be things like you're recovering from a frozen shoulder, anything that's going to affect how much you lift. All right. One of the final things that I'd like to share with you before I demonstrate an exercise is just that strength training should be challenging. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not going to be something that you breeze through. It should be a challenge for you. The weights that you're using should feel heavy. So just keep that in mind. One of the things that tends to happen when I'm working with clients is when I start working with them, they usually are starting out with dumbbells in the 3 pound, 5 pound, 8 pound range. As they continue to work, they begin to lift 15, 20, and 25 pounds, and then even higher weights as they continue to strength train. It is possible. You can be stronger. So I want you to just have an open mind as you start and continue your strength training journey. Okay, let's look at an exercise and I'll show you exactly what lifting heavy and lifting your heavy will look like. Let's use the one arm row to show how you can determine how heavy is enough in order for you to continue building strength. I usually share with my clients to make sure that you can do about 6 to 10 repetitions or to lift the weight 6 to 10 times. By the time you get up to that higher limit, you're finished. Like you could barely lift one or two more. And so I'll show you an example of what that might look like. So the one arm row actually is an exercise that works your back one side at a time. So let's look at the one arm row from this side. I'll show you using a dumbbell what determining how heavy is your heavy is enough. So with the one arm row, with this weight that I'm currently using, I feel like I could probably lift this weight probably 20 or 25 times for me. That means that this weight is not heavy enough for me. So I want you to consider that. You should lift a weight about 6 to 10 times. Let's see what I'm going to try next. In this example, I've gone up in weight. So let me just see how this weight feels, and I'll count to 6 reps and then determine how many reps I feel like I have in reserve, or how many more reps I feel like I can do with this weight. So I'm going to pick this weight up, and I'm going to go ahead and count my number of reps. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. Now, for that weight, I feel like I could probably do another 5, 6, or 7 reps. So 2 things to look at. First, did you see how quickly I was lifting the weight? Now, you want to consider your speed when you're lifting, because when you have a challenging weight, you're going to be lifting just a bit slower. You don't have to go at a snail's pace, but a bit slower because the weight is heavier. Also, if I can lift 6 or 7, 8 more reps, again, maybe that weight is still a little bit too light. So let's keep going and see what the next weight looks like. Now, I want to remind you that everyone's heavy is different. So it doesn't matter at this point what the weight is of the dumbbells that I'm using during this video. What matters is the process that I'm using to determine how heavy is enough for me. So let's try this next weight that I have, and we'll see how it feels. And again, I want to be able to do about 6 to 10 reps. And when I get to that frame, 6 to 10, I want it to really feel challenging, really like I am pushing out the reps and I can't lift anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this dumbbell, and I'm going to start lifting, and I'm going to count, because this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8. Now, I'm going to stop here because I did 8 reps. And again, I feel like I can probably do more than 2 more. But one thing I do want you to notice is that my speed, or the tempo that I was lifting that weight, was a bit slower than when I was lifting the other weight. And I'm a bit more winded now. However, I could still lift a little bit more. So let's just try one more and let's see how it looks. Before we move on, I just want to reiterate something. The amount that you lift has some determining factors. First of all, your experience with lifting. Secondly, also your actual strength. And then finally, any contraindications that you may have. I talked about that earlier, but I just want to reiterate that as we move forward. The last weight that I lifted, I could tell that I was really getting close to a weight that would really challenge me. So as you move forward, you can feel like, and you know when you're getting closer. So I'm going to lift this next weight, and this next weight is probably going to be a challenging weight for me. And I want you to notice that I am pulling a bit slower than I was pulling before. This is 4, because this weight is heavier. This is 6, and I can do 8. And if I stop there at 8, that weight is probably good for me, because if I did 2 more, I would probably be at the top of my range. Now, I may be able to do a few more past 10. However, when I consider that I typically do 3 sets of 8 repetitions or 10 repetitions, that right now would probably be my limit. So I've found the dumbbell or the weight that's really going to challenge me at this point. Okay, so for the purpose of this video and the learning in this video, I wanted to intentionally start with a lightweight that I knew was light for me, so that I could show you the process of going from a lighter weight to a weight that's heavier that will actually give you some challenge. And also, as I went up in weight, you could see that the speed or the pace that I lifted the weight, it changed. It got slower because the weight became heavier and more challenging. So, those are some of the things that you can look at as you find your heavy and your challenging weight. Now, something to note first off, the more you strength train, the more you'll know where your heavy is. You won't have to start at a light weight and then take that time to continue to step up and step up and step up to a heavier weight. You'll kind of know where to start that's going to be challenging for you. The second thing is that you're going to use different size weights for different exercises. So your largest muscles are going to obviously be able to lift more weight than your smaller muscles. For example, if I was lifting or doing bicep curls, your bicep is this tiny, tiny muscle right here. There's no way that I could do a bicep curl using the dumbbell that I just did the one arm dumbbell row with. No way, because my back muscles are stronger than my biceps. And in doing that one arm row, I was using my back muscles, but my biceps were also helping in that exercise. So these are things to consider as you learn about lifting heavier. The smaller muscles are going to lift less than your larger muscles. And you know you're being challenged when you start lifting a little bit slower and that weight is getting heavier. Remember, about 6 to 10 reps. All right, everyone, this was fun. If you have any questions, please post them below this video. I love watching women over 50 get stronger. Remember, don't be intimidated by a heavier weight. You are stronger than you think. I'll also link those other two videos that I referred to earlier in this particular video. I'll link them down below as well so you can check them out. They're all about lifting dumbbells to get heavier and another video on how heavy is enough. And finally, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be sure to get all of the future videos that come out. And if this video was helpful, please give it a like also. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.